We're going to get started shortly. We're going to get started shortly. All right. Wow. Very cool. That's we have a fan here. Oh, it's actually my wife. Well, thanks for joining. Testing out this new stream overlay, they call it. This is my first one actually. I bought it a few dollars and just customized it because I have no art capability when it comes to graphic design. So, try the live chat. Looks like the live chat's showing up here. This is really cool. So this is not the formal podcast. I'm doing that episode later tonight, actually, and releasing that like I usually do every couple of Sundays. But today I'm going to just read some news. Usually I like to do tech news, but and I can also kind of surf while I'm doing it. I got these multiple screens set up where I can do that, and it's really nice. So actually, I'll take a moment to mention I heard that Bob Saget, he was found dead in a Florida hotel room, which is terrible. I was actually watching some old clips of Norm Macdonald and Bob Saget doing a tribute to losing him. So that's really sad. Bob Saget's awesome, great comedian. I used to watch clips of him as a comedian, a little more R-rated version of Bob Saget, but he's incredible. And that's really sad because he was only 65 apparently. So that's condolences to his family. That's sad. So today I'm going to cover some tech news, I guess, mostly. Stuff that's more, I guess, not planned like the podcast is, and just read through things that I find interesting and share them. So, lower the camera a little bit. Thank you. I think the issue is definitely where I place the camera because it's mounted on top of the monitor. Let's change that real quick. It's the first time. We should fix it. Okay, that's probably better. I don't want to get all the cables on the floor. I have microphone cables for the usual drum setup that's over here, and it looks terrible with the cables going there, but actually worse than that does already. So, okay. So, and there's a 30-second delay, by the way. So when I change this, I'm going to have to calibrate this camera, but for next time. But the big news is, let's go back to the main slide that I had here. I am actually going to plan on doing this Wednesdays and Fridays. So 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So I figured that's a good time for all time zones. It's kind of, right after the 5 p.m. workday on the West Coast here in the United States. And, it kind of works for all time zones here. So I think 8 p.m. is a good spot to hit. And it's not too late past people's bedtime, when they got to work the next day. So anyways, let's get started with what I find to be interesting news. So let's see. Where do we go to? Because I'm so slow at this right now. There's the stream chat. You can see that little transition. Let's go to stream where I can actually see my screen now. And there's the chat now at the bottom of the screen. It looks like it's working. Didn't actually test that much at all. But first part of news is YouTube polls the 5 for Fighting music video. Apparently it's kind of, maybe it's a little political. It exposed the surrender that happened in Afghanistan, a few months back. They polled that. but they cited that it was graphic content policy for pulling the video. And what's interesting to me is they haven't pulled the filthiest video on YouTube with plenty of nudity in it, actually, and that's Glory Hole by Steel Panther. I actually love the band Steel Panther. They're like a kind of like a parody band, but they're funny and they're talented. But that video is like very, very much so graphic. And there's like I don't know, not a fair use. What do you call that? There's a little bit of leeway when it comes to art where you can have stuff like that displayed. So I'm surprised that that music video got pulled. Seems like there's kind of like a little, I don't know, politics behind that maybe. So that's something I read that was really surprising to me for YouTube. Well, I mean, maybe not surprising from what I've heard, how much stuff they pull lately. Another thing, what's interesting, George Lopez left a show a week ago. He felt sick, and fans were left wondering what happened to him. One article says that it wasn't clear on what the illness was, but it's good to know it's not COVID, they said. And I was like, well, yeah, hopefully it's not a heart attack either, because that's really bad. But apparently he's okay now, so that's good. I don't know why that article keeps popping up, and I don't follow George Lopez, but I thought it was interesting. So, anyways, keep it up, Georgie. If you haven't heard already, though, BlackBerry devices running BlackBerry OS 10 or OS 7.1 and older, so they're all butt bricked, basically. They're finally being killed off, for real. It's been, talked about, BlackBerry's dead for like the last, 5 years. And I mean, this is for real now. Like, as of the 4th of this month, you can't call, text, or use data in 911 in most cases. So yeah, they're garbage. There are BlackBerries that are still floating around out there, and there's confusion, and rightfully so. For people that might not know that there is an Android version of BlackBerry. It's just the BlackBerry brand slapped on top of an Android device. Just don't buy BlackBerry anymore. They're dead. It sucks. They were the greatest in like the early 2000s, but they're not anymore. They're very secure, but I think it said in the article that I'll link to here is that BlackBerry started their own security. I don't know if it's antivirus or some kind of security company, which they were great at. I mean, that's what they did. I mean, I think they used to confiscate BlackBerries at the airport, in some countries because you can't get the information off them. They're encrypted. I mean, a lot of cell phones are encrypted now, but anyways, that's interesting to me that, BlackBerry's gone for real. Amazon is getting some kind of pushback still on their Whole Foods $9.95 delivery fee that they tacked on as of I think it's been about a month now. I don't know. And orders have taken a dive. Good. The Amazon Prime fee is already too much, I think, for each year. And then on top of that, they're smacking on that $10 fee. And according to an employee, I know this is really just according to, I heard it from someone, this news article says, in New York at their flagship store, the deliveries had plummeted from 185 per hour to 40. And one of the Amazon execs said that's grossly inaccurate, but wouldn't give specifics, of course. So we'll know sooner or later if he's full of it based on whether Amazon makes any quick changes. And I love Whole Foods, so I can still do grocery pickup there. It's still the same cost, so that's cool. I think they do have some special products that set them apart from other brands. So I do like that. I can't hate them. It's just like what Amazon's kind of doing with that. But I mean, they have all that delivery power. They're constantly on the road. It seems like they can make that work for their users, but I don't know. But the article does go on to list a few other grocery store delivery services that offer free delivery with their annual members, and the yearly fee tends to be around $100, like Walmart, and I don't know if Kroger has one, but Walmart does. It's like $98, of course, typical Walmart pricing. And I'll link to the article from New York Post that says the Whole Foods shoppers balk at paying $9.95 delivery fee. So that's the news that I had to share today, and thanks for